You a Star Wars fan? Because you'll be amazed at number one, that a lot of women might be into the shit that you're into, but you're so worried about her judging you that you don't give it half a chance. But also some of the things that you're not into, you'll be amazed at how women would want to get into it because they want to get closer to you.
A lot of times they say shit like, "Oh, I'm free on weekends," or I'm usually free on Thursdays," or whatever the hell. So if it makes sense, then I schedule a date.
If she really liked you from the get-go, there would be no reward system you would have to look for to do anything for, right? Because it would automatically be there, And I like to do this in conversations sometimes. When you're speaking with somebody and you'll hear a girl say something like, "I'll never do this," or "I don't like this," or "I don't like that." And then you'll notice, you'll say, "Nah, I kind of like it. I like it when blah, blah, blah." And she's like, well, yeah, when you say it like that, I like it, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you switched up awfully fast for somebody that just really said they don't like something. And so, there's always been clues out there for fellas to understand, like, yo, if they really like you, they will change their whole political party.
They're not giving her real instruction. They're not letting her know what it really is. And most dudes don't do it. Most dudes don't say what it is because they're afraid to hear no, or they're afraid to bring up sex too early and all of this and all of that. But the bottom line is this. Either, again, and somebody said it, either she's feeling you or she's not. You understand? Either she's feeling you or she's not. We got to stop all this nonsense, man. Guys are too afraid to hear no. And it's like, I'd rather hear no than to waste 2, 3, 4 dates and time spent, money spent, and all this other shit just to find out that you wasn't feeling me any damn way. You see what I'm saying? But so with me, first date is cool. If you don't want to do it on the first date, no problem. You could be on your period or whatever it is. There's a lot of things that could be off on the first date, right? It doesn't matter. But second date, you gotta know what it
is. For me, I like exclusive vagina to me. And that's because I don't want to catch nothing to have my later years messed up. And I like to stroke without no condom on. It feels great. So I like it.
So you like to be hugged by the sugar walls? You like to be hugged?
Yeah. I like that velvet, plush velvet. The smoothness. So,
but even then, J. Roman, I hear you.
He don't get up for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So, and the reason is because he has to conserve his energy to do 3 full workouts a day up until his competition date. You understand? So when he's in season, he literally just works out as hard as he can. Then he sits on the couch and his wife brings him everything. The only thing she don't do is fucking piss for him, right? So what I'm saying is, it's one thing to have a wife that does it, because you said earlier, these were the words you used. You said a woman who says, "Oh, I rock with this dude, so I don't mind doing this." But see, it's a difference between a woman who doesn't mind and a woman who cheerfully wants to do it. Understand the position of a simp. Make sure you understand the position of a friend zone nigga. Make sure you understand that a man doesn't do anything for nothing. You understand? So run the game, be careful, and do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm. And that's right there, J. Roman. And that's the problem. Your main chick should always be prioritized over all the new chicks. Right? The new chicks should not get preferential treatment. Right? So what would make it difficult for a lot of women is if you're giving girlfriend treatment to the new chick. Right? So this is why when you very first meet women, you have to establish boundaries and parameters where they got to earn everything. So that way, when the main chick is with you and she knows you're dealing with new women, she knows they have to go through the gauntlet too. They just don't get shit quicker. Like
Kerry K set in the blaze, sagging. Miles Cunham with the game so tight. J. Roman lit the torch, keeping it right. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat, pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law. Kerry K drops jewels, the crowd enthralled. Words cut deep, no need for brawls. Miles Cunningham, tactics sharp like a dagger. Navigates the game, makes the haters stagger. Journey to manhood, no easy feat. Lessons from the masters, words concrete. J. Roman with the keys, opens the door. Manhood's the path, gotta crave for more. Manhood's the challenge, skill set to master. In a world moving fast, gotta move faster. Trap beat, pounding 808, shake the floor. Guided by the host, wisdom like law.
Oh, law. What's up, y'all?
Lord. Chilling. What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? All right now.
Chilling. Got the homie Miles motherfucking Cunningham. We got J. Roman, the security guy / airline pilot. You know what I'm saying? You got that look. Like you can secure some shit and fly some shit at the same time. But what's going on with my guys? What's going on, Miles? I know you got something going on with the masculine identity, right?
Oh yeah, man. Go to Cunningham Elements. It is the Father's Day sale in full effect. 20% off the entire site, man. So get your cologne, get your soap, 20% off any order. It doesn't matter. 20% off, man. And I also, for my return customers, also sent out an email with a special code for you guys. Keep that to yourselves, honest, obviously. And then you can put your code in and you could save even more money. So yeah, my returning customers, they get incentives, man. So, if you become a customer, then you get incentives. All right. So, go to CunninghamElements.com and get your stuff at a 20% discount. Shout out to all the fathers. And man, appreciate y'all.
What's going on, J. Roman?
Oh, man, chilling, enjoying life like always.
Yes, sir.
This is one of my things I enjoy to do. So, let's get it rocking.
Let's get it right.
Okay, cool. So real quick, what are we talking about? Why no other man can touch her is a dangerous fantasy, not a flex. And what I've been noticing specifically on Facebook, there's a lot of posts and a lot of videos by both females and males talking about this. Like guys will be like, oh, it's a flex to have a woman no other man can touch but you. And my thing is, that's a cool little theory you have there. You want to prove that though, right? And this is what people got to understand. Now, let me just say this. Here's my disclaimer, right? Are there women out there that are capable of being quote unquote sexually faithful? Yes. Here's the problem. You can't prove that though. Yeah. You don't know really, you really don't know which women will cheat versus which women won't. Now, what you can do is you can theorize based on how women are acting, whether or not they're capable of something, but you really can't prove it. And this is how you know that people keep trying to prove faithfulness and fidelity. There's a thing called surveillance, where people are basically checking out other people's social media, who they're liking, who they're friends with, what stories they're liking, and also checking people's phones. Well, my thing is, if it's a flex to have someone that no one else can touch, why are you going through their phone trying to prove it? Why are you stalking their social media trying to see what they may or may not be doing? And the reality of it is this: you cannot prove whether or not a bitch is faithful. Y'all got it.
Facts. You can never prove that shit. Well, yeah, man. So you got to be careful out there. It's one of those things that it's really tough for the average guy to understand. And I'll be honest, it was tough for me to kind of understand, when I was a certain age coming up in the game, it's because you kind of like naturally have this tendency to be territorial, and then that leads to jealousy, and then you don't realize it in the moment, but it's a lot of insecurity, right? Because it's the same reason why a lot of guys worry about body count, right? Because they're worried about other guys, being better than them and taking the attention away from taking the woman's attention away from them, and so on and so forth. See, the thing is that it's actually it lends itself to a deeper spiritual question, or a deeper spiritual understanding, the way I see it. And it has everything to do with understanding that there are things in this world that you can control, and there are things in this world that you can't. And then you got to have the wisdom to know the difference. And then once you have the wisdom to know the difference, you got to make peace with the things that you cannot control. And then when you realize the only thing you can actually control is yourself, then you also have to make peace with, dealing with the limitations of that. You understand? And so what do I ultimately mean? What I ultimately mean is you got to have faith in your masculine identity, and then realize, look, there's going to be women out there that are going to have allegiance to your masculine identity, and there's going to be women out there that are going to have multiple allegiances. And at the end of the day, you just got to have faith in your masculine identity and be satisfied and grateful and appreciative of whatever allegiances you can create with your masculine identity. And then here's a crazy part. The more you are grateful and appreciative of your own masculine identity and the allegiances that it compels, that's when you actually get more you get more women or whatever attracted to you. You get more people attracted to you, right? Because you are exalting your masculine identity. You are super focused on your masculine identity. So, for example, if we're going to use the example of the body count, the reason why I don't ask a woman about her body count is because I'm only focused on enjoying what's going on right now. You understand? Instead of worrying about all the dicks that's been in her, I'm focused on the dick that's about to be in her right now. You understand? And that's it. And the more I focus on that, is the more enjoyment, the more effectiveness. Everything works out better for me because that's what I'm focused on. Right. But then you got the other guy. He might experience ED. He might experience a lot of different issues. He might experience unfulfilling, sex and all this other shit. Why? Because he's focused on all the other dicks that been up in there, or all the other dicks that might be getting up in there when he's not around, and all this other shit. If I'm only focused on the experience that I've created, then I get to enjoy it and be fully present and excited and confident and be, have the best experience because of where I'm putting my focus. Okay. So the bottom line is, worrying about another man touching her and all that other shit, yes, it can be very, very, very dangerous, because what you don't realize is how much it is putting you in a space of insecurity, and it is taking away from your ability to fully enjoy what the experience that you're actually having currently. You understand? And so, it's, again, like I said, it can get pretty deep, man. It could get pretty deep. But shout out to Who's Day Official with the $9.99. He says, looking for today's game and my one-on-one call with Coach Zag next week. Much respect, fellas. Yep. All right. So yeah, it's, that's where I see it.
You want to speak to it, Jay?
Yeah, I think a lot of things really tend to go to the word jealousy. Right. And I think that usually opens up a lot of things that Miles was saying, a lot about your insecurities, afraid to lose, afraid to look like a fool, afraid to feel like you got played, afraid to be in a situation where you think one thing and it's something different. So you try to prevent that. And so through your prevention is basically you try to have this wall and shield, your mate from seeing anybody, probably your wish to see no other man at all, not driving, not in the car, not on TV. You're trying to shield her because you have no faith in her. You have no faith in the relationship you built,
right? Because
your jealous meter is saying that she won't survive any other interaction with somebody that she might be attracted to.
and it's a losing battle because you don't control anybody. So, fellas, let's really think about this. All the billions and millions of people on Earth. And I know we give some leeway to actors and athletes. Your woman see them and she thinks they're cute. She thinks they're hot or whatever. And you give a little leeway because you're thinking that dude will never meet her, right? She'll never interact with her. So that's why you give celebrities a pass. But then everybody else is jealousy mode, right? Because you know that the mechanic or the guy that works at this store or whatever, she likes, or that's her type. And so you begin this jealousy thing in the head. So now she can't go here. She can't go there. She can't hang out with the girlfriends. She can't do this. She can't do that. And all it is jealousy, but it doesn't matter because you don't control her. She goes to work. We used to have a saying, me and my buddies. We could always tell the jealous boyfriends, right? Because they would drop off the women at work. And you be walking past and they get that little stance, and then they get super over affectionate. All right, baby.
Right there. Mate guarding. Like the homie right there was talking about.
You know what I'm saying? They extra hugs, give me kisses 4 more times. This is my woman right here. Yeah. And I never forget, my boy was like, oh, don't worry about it. You just dropped her off with me for the next 9 hours.
I got
right at work.
2 15-minute breaks and a lunch to crack that nigga.
Yeah. Every day. So honestly, there's nothing you could do. And there is a peace that comes over you when you realize that. Because when you realize that, you realize, this insecurity is with me because I feel like, and this is going to be tough for dudes because, being honest with yourself is a hard thing to do sometimes. I feel like I'm not the dude that could keep her if she really interacts with other dudes. Right? So I feel like I don't have everything set over here because if she starts to walk away, then that says something about me and not about her. And so a lot of times that jealousy mode is all directed toward her, but really there's a lot of stuff in you that you need to work on so you don't care about that.
Yep.
And hey, you guys know I ain't no hypocrite. I didn't have my time on Jealousy Hill.
Of course.
And I don't even know if I even told the story before because I did way too much. Just way too much. But I realized you can't control nobody. You can't control nobody. So why am I sitting here acting like I can control you and make you care about the things I care about, make you act the way I act?
Right.
When I can't.
Right.
So either you want to be here or not. And when you get to that mode, you don't care. You'd be like, hey, get on the phone, call your mama, tell her you about to leave the best dude you ever had in your life. No.
And shout out to Daniel P. Appreciate the 20 and shit. Guys, the call-in line is open. What's good, Red Jet Shell? What's good, baby girl? How you doing? Real quick, the call-in line is open. $5 for a question, $10 for a whole story and shit. 1-844-672-7300. The call-in line is 1-844-672-7300. Also, gentlemen, ladies, you can ask a question. Put a Q in the chat, followed by your question. Let me tell y'all a story. And I'm not trying to scare a lot of you guys who are endeavoring to have a relationship where a woman could actually be faithful. Let me just say this about women cheating or being faithful. If a woman cheats on you, it has nothing to do with you. If a woman is faithful to you, that has nothing to do with you. Okay, this is what's happening. I need you guys to understand something. And we got a video that we're about to show y'all. So whenever you get ready, Miles, we'll go ahead and pop that in there. Let me tell you guys this. It is a red flag for a woman to sell sexual exclusivity to you. If a woman is trying to sell loyalty or sexual exclusivity as if it's a reward, right? And that's what's happening with a lot of you guys. There are women right now who they speak about loyalty and sexual exclusivity as if it's an achievement a man should aspire. Oh, I'm trying to get a woman who can be that. And what you have to understand, a woman being faithful to a man sexually has nothing to do with him. that's her personal choice to do that. It has
Right.
nothing to do with you. So the problem with guys, when we talk about intrinsic value, right? Intrinsic means true. That means something you can prove, right? The problem with sexual exclusivity or faithfulness, there's nothing intrinsic about that because you can't prove it. You can only hope for it and you can only assume it, but you can't prove it. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. And I'm not trying to scare nobody. I'm just telling y'all. So for all you niggas that drop your chick off at work and her location is being shared with you, yeah, she at work. The problem is she work with me. That's the problem. I'm her co-worker, right? So let me tell y'all a story. I ain't trying to scare you. I'm just telling y'all the truth. There was this young lady I was dealing with. She had a 7-year relationship with a man. They were living together, all of that. He dropped her off at work, right? She had on a skirt, right? I told her, go to the bathroom, take off them drawers and come back to my cubicle. It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. She go to the bathroom, slide the drawers off, come back to my cubicle. I turn the trash can upside down. I said, put your foot on top of that trash can. So she put one foot on top of the trash can. And what do you think I'm doing with my middle finger? In my cubicle during lunch hours, right? so what I'm saying, is, right? And I'm not gonna get into some other shit I was doing, but your girl ain't safe at work. Look, I had a homeboy. This is right before COVID.
That's too many steps on that thing.
Yeah. This is right before COVID, right? So I'm sitting in my car recording a video on my phone for YouTube. You guessed it, right? So one of my homies that was behind me, he was parked in his car. He was like, Kerry, look up. And I look up and I see a pregnant girl walking. He said, you see her right there walking? She walking to my car right now and about to give me some dome. So sure enough, I look in my rear view, I'm looking in my mirror. She get into the car and I can see the head bobbing up and down. She pregnant. She's showing the whole 9. Got a man and all of that, right? So none of that matters. You niggas ain't safe. You're not safe nowhere, bro. If your girl want to creep or she run into a nigga like myself, right? And I'm not telling y'all to cheat. I'm not telling y'all to be side dudes and all that. It's dangerous to be a side dude. It's a hazardous occupation. Like they need hazardous pay to be a side dude nowadays. So,
It is.
But what I'm saying is, this is what I'm saying. And again, I'm not trying to scare nobody. Are there women who are capable of being faithful? Yes. Here's the problem though. When you guys go searching for that, you're looking for the wrong shit. Right? Meaning, oh, she got tattoos, she'll cheat. Oh, she drinks and smokes. Oh, she'll cheat. Oh, she dressed this way, she'll cheat. Go ahead, fam.
You're a nurse, she'll cheat. She's a real estate agent, she'll cheat.
I want to add to that statement because a part of what you're saying is that it doesn't make sense for you to look for something that is based on the choices of others. Do you understand? So the bottom line is whatever you're looking for, make sure you're focused on finding it within yourself. So what I'm saying is that if you're looking for monogamy, make sure that you are the shining example of a monogamous lifestyle. Right. And that still doesn't guarantee that the woman that you get with is going to be 100% monogamous with you. But the bottom line is that that's the only way that you can find monogamy is in yourself. You cannot actually you cannot find it necessarily or expect it from the other person. You have to live that life for yourself and find it for yourself, because anything you're looking for, if it has to do with the choices of others, then you're still leaving it up to someone else. You understand what I'm saying? So it's and just because you monogamous don't mean the other person got to be monogamous. It's just the way it is. You was gonna say something, Jay?
Yeah. It's just the wording for me because I expect whoever I'm with to be faithful to the situation we have. However, I understand that I don't control that. And so I agree 100%. You got to, as men, as leaders, you can't demand something that you don't do yourself. So because you set the lead, you set the example. But at the same time, yeah, I expect you to follow this example that I'm setting. Now, if you don't, then we'll deal with that when it comes along.
Right.
Exactly. I just think that a lot of guys try to hold on so much to controlling it,
right,
that they go into the realm of jealousy, and that jealousy And that realm has led people to do a lot of crazy stuff.
Exactly. It's the
mentally
jealousy that makes you look weak and then causes them to find attraction in other places. Because once you delve into that insecurity, all of a sudden you're not attractive. You're not as attractive anymore.
Not attractive. You look weak. And then a lot of times you try to demand the respect back by doing some physical stuff to them. Right. Because now mentally you're not with me. So I'm going to show you I'm the man, going there. And the thing is, it's like, it leads to a lot of stuff. So yeah, I expect if I'm in a monogamous relationship that the other person be monogamous. But do I think that nothing could ever happen? Nah, I don't think that. I don't think that.
So, this is what I've been talking about. We'll do the video. Let me just say this. And I've said this. Sexual attraction is not a faucet. Meaning, if you think about a faucet or a spigot, you can turn it on and off.
Mm-hmm.
Guys think because they are in a relationship with a woman that spigot has been turned off. No. The worst thing you can believe as a man is that you're the last guy your woman is going to be sexually attracted to. Don't ever believe that. Never believe that you're the last guy that your woman is going to be sexually attracted to. You are a fool if you believe that. Now, can your woman run into other men that she thinks is sexually appealing, but she makes a choice not to fuck them? Yes. But that temptation is there. Don't get it twisted. Don't think women don't get tempted. Don't think, again, and we talk about this, sexual attraction, and one of the homies said it in the chat. Sexual attraction is not a conscious choice. That's not a conscious decision that women make, or men. You don't consciously make choices who you're sexually attracted to. Now, you might consciously make a choice who you actually have sex with. That's completely different. But when it comes to that feeling, when somebody's in your presence and you're like, ooh, I will fuck the shit out of them. You don't control that feeling. That feeling either exists or it doesn't, right? So don't get it twisted. But whenever you're ready, Miles.
All right, here we go. All right, so the video is called One Thing About Me. I'm loyal from day one, and that ain't ever gonna change. Okay, we'll see, bitch. All right, now let's go.
Somebody got to say it, and I'd be the bitch to say it. Do you know how much of a flex it is when a man knows that since he touched you, since the first time he touched you, nobody else has? Like, we living in a generation where everybody entertaining everybody else, sleeping with everybody, got backups in case this one don't work out, got niggas lying all the way the fuck up. Do you know how powerful it is for you to say, I didn't move like that, and be honest about it? Baby, it's a big flex when your feelings are hurt and you didn't go running to somebody else's arms for comfort. It's a flex when you don't use another man to get over the man that you actually wanted but couldn't have. It's a flex when you don't need temporary validation to feel better about your motherfucking rejection, bitch. And let me tell you this, anybody could go find somebody to sleep with, anybody could go find somebody to entertain them, but having discipline, baby, that is a flex. Sexual discipline at that, the biggest flex. Like, not everybody can sit around and say, I'm not about to become a person I'm not just because I'm hurting. And it ain't about being a virgin. It ain't about judging other women.
You can pause it if you want to, Miles, because I'm getting tired of hearing her talk too. Go ahead.
Why do all ladies sound the same when they do these videos? They do that like
same rhythm, yeah, same cadence. Let me tell you something. I want y'all to understand something. I want you to understand that this don't have nothing to do with men. The flex that she's talking about, it could possibly be a flex to her because her conscience is clear. It's a flex to her maybe because, okay, yeah, I feel good about the fact that he's the only nigga touching me. Maybe she feels good about that for all this time that she's been with this dude. She's had discipline and she's turned down all other niggas and she's only had allegiance to him because she fuck with this guy. But I want you to understand that flex, that's no flex to the man. That's probably a flex to her, but that's no flex to her dude. You understand? Because again, like I said, you don't control these hoes. You don't control these females. So don't you go sitting, you hear a woman talking that shit and you start to feel proud like, yeah, she's right because I was the only one that ever. That's not a flex for the nigga. That's not a flex for the nigga. Let me tell you what is a flex to the nigga. What's a flex to the nigga is that if she maintained a certain level of consistency and standard through the course of the relationship, that's a flex. If she continues to follow his instructions and follow his program, that's a flex. But beyond that, I don't know and I have no control over it. So therefore I can't even speak to it. And that will never be a flex for me. That might be a flex for you. And that's great. If you feel good about the fact that you had discipline, if you feel good about the fact that no other man has ever touched you while we were together, that's awesome. And I love that for you. But that's not my flex. That's your flex. You see what I'm saying? I just wanted to say that because a lot of niggas might hear this video and feel like, yeah, I would love to have a woman like that could say that, man. That would be a big flex to me. No, it's not a flex for you. It's a flex for her, but not for you because you can't control her and you don't know if she's lying or not. It's the same thing as asking a bitch how many bodies she's had. You still don't know how many bodies she's really had. She still could be lying and you never will know. So that's never a flex for you. The only flex that's a flex for you is, like I said, shit that you could control. So if you maintain a certain level of consistency, certain standards and certain requirements for your relationships and and the women that you fuck with continue to follow your lead, like Lucario said, they follow your lead and they follow your program for as long as they're there. You understand? Because beyond that, you have no real control. You understand? So you got to keep that in mind.
Let me say this, and I'll pass it right back to Jay to kind of add on what you're saying about what's a flex for a man and what isn't. Most guys can never say they deal with women strictly on their terms. Most guys can never say the relationship I have with my woman or my marriage is exactly how I want it to be. From the time I met her, everything lined up exactly how I set it up to be. Most guys can't say that, right? Most guys follow women to a degree. Most guys submit and or defer to women to a degree. The average guy can never say, my relationship is on my terms from day one. She's talking about one thing about me, I'm loyal from day one. And I want people to understand something about loyalty. There's a difference between just loyalty and sexual loyalty. It's two different things. This is what I mean by that. And a lot of guys disagree with this. If you're going to jail as a guy, let's say you're going to jail and you're doing like a light bid, like a 2-3 year bid or something like that. Now, if you think your woman is going to be sexually loyal to you while you're doing that bid, you're a fool, right? However, when you get done doing your bid and you get out and that bitch still there, she's a loyal bitch. She might have been fucking other niggas, but she's a loyal bitch because she's still there.
And that's all you
down.
That's all you could ask for.
Exactly.
That's all you could ask for.
I said that underneath a post where this chick went to this chick. She was like, I'm away from my man, but I need some dick, right? And guys be like, she's a cheater. And I'm like, bro, if she wait for that nigga and she's still there when he get out, she a loyal bitch. She might not be loyal sexually, but she's a loyal chick in the sense that she's still there. Let me just say this real quick, and I'll pass it right back to you, Jay, I promise. Years and years ago, I went to church, right? I went to this church. Me and my ex-wife at the time, we were looking for a church home. And the pastor was preaching, but his wife was also up there preaching and shit, which I really don't like going to churches where women are preaching. I really don't like it. But anyway, back to my point. So while she was up there, giving her sermon, the wife of the pastor, right? She said something that was very, very interesting. And I heard other women say this, but she was talking about how when her and her husband, they were on vacation. I think they were in Jamaica, Bahamas, or something like that. And she was on an excursion, but the husband wasn't there on the excursion. She was on the excursion by herself. And one of the young men there, she described as fine. And she was like, girl, I was thinking about cheating with him. I'm married and I didn't give my life to my marriage and to God. But Lord, I was tempted. I was tempted to creep on my man. And then she said the only reason why she didn't cheat was because of her covenant with God. That's what she said. She didn't say anything about her love for her husband. She didn't say anything about hurting his feelings and how she would never do him like that. She never mentioned her husband. She said the only reason she didn't creep was because of her covenant with God. That was the only reason. Now, whether or not that's true or not is irrelevant. My point is this, is when women talk about being faithful to a man, it's not for you.
Right.
A woman, even if a woman wait for you to get out of jail, it's not for you. It's for her. She's doing it for her. She believes that there is something in it for her in the long run, which is why she's there waiting. Y'all got it. Go ahead, Jay.
I agree. I agree with the flex is mainly for her, but a lot of what she was describing was a good woman, right? Like it's like I think that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like the fact that you see some dude that you want to give it up to me is normal and natural, right? Like, you see some dude walking down the street, she thinks she's hot. The most basic form of attraction is sexual. So yeah, I think you're sexually attracted to the person, and in your head, you might go there and fantasize and do what you want to do. But if you're in a committed relationship where you guys decided to be faithful to each other like that, then I expect you to live up to your word of things.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if you can't do that, then why be in that relationship? That ain't the relationship for you. Right. Now, if you're in the relationship where, you guys got an understanding that it's cool, then hey, you're living within the parameters of something that you have agreed to be in. So being a person of your word is something you should be expected to do. Right. And the way she's describing it is like, I'm so this and I'm so that, and I'm cool. I'm glad you are. Does it bring comfort to guys? It brings it tickles the ego and it brings a little comfort, but at the same time, fellas, you can't believe everything. You just you can't believe everything. She come home smelling like dick, but she tell you she faithful, you gonna believe it? Like after a while, hey, hold on, something's going on.
Right.
So all I'm saying is like, yo, it's a flex for her. Apparently, I don't know, maybe in her past she used to just get it in and not, maybe this is part of her growth, right? She grown because she look a little older, look like she got a little age on her. So, maybe in the past she get upset and go give some to somebody or something, and now she's in this new light where she's I'm faithful. Well, yeah, I expected in a relationship if that's what y'all decided, so to me it's not it's not a flex for me. I'm happy that you have growth and you're a woman of your word and you have character about yourself. But, I expect it. And if it doesn't happen, then we got to go. We gotta go.
And let me just add this real quick about. Let me just say that I want to be clear, guys. There is nothing wrong with, and Jay Roman, you said this. There's nothing wrong with guys desiring a woman to be faithful, especially if you putting your mouth on it, you running up in it raw and shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's your girl. You want to know when you put your mouth on it, ain't nothing been there right before you got there. However, even with that though, you still can't prove it. So here's the thing, right? When we talk about, vetting women, right? You don't vet women based on faithfulness and sexual exclusivity. You vet women based on consistency. And you said that earlier, Miles, right? You can never bestow blind trust onto a woman and say, I trust you explicitly. No, hell no, right?
Hell no.
What you can trust is your ability to ascertain whether or not a woman is right for you, right? What you can put your trust in is discernment. Okay, is this woman the right fit for me? So, and the problem with all of this sexual exclusivity shit, and Miles, you alluded to it earlier, and I believe Jay Roman, you said something about it, is you have guys, they have commentary where they talk about, oh, if a woman has this job, you said it earlier, Jay Roman, being a nurse or being a stewardess or something, oh, she'll cheat. Bro, it don't matter what job a woman got. They creeping. It don't matter. A bitch can work at Krispy Kreme donuts, nigga. She getting creamed in the back, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? She can work at Starbucks, nigga. It don't matter. A woman's job is inconsequential to whether or not there is a man that's employed there that she would have sex with. Period. So a woman could be a nurse, but if she ain't attracted to any guy that worked there, nigga, she probably ain't gonna cheat. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, and for dudes, it's really it fucks them up in the head, right? Because like Miles is saying, a lot of times they take it more internal that it's them. There's something I didn't do, or something I wasn't, and it could just be that she thought the motherfucker was fine, and she didn't care about anything besides that.
Right.
That speaks to her character, and it's so funny when it comes to women, we don't think about their character, right? They're how they move, because a lot of dudes don't vet for that. Some dudes is like, yo, as long as ain't nobody touching it, boom. What about her mentality on how she even gets to that point? I think that's the part that people don't even ask about. Like, there's a lot of dudes that's with the woman that never asked her, hey, when you get unhappy in your last relationships, what did you do? Did you talk to the person? Did you go and, get a little something on the side? Did you, run to mama and tell all our business? Like, what do you do? They don't ask these questions prior to getting with them, so they don't know exactly what they do. Like, my thing I like to operate on is Jackie Brown. I think I explained this before. Now, in that movie Jackie Brown, there was Samuel L. Jackson, there was Pam Grier, and some other people that was there. I think I forget the name of dude, but Samuel L. Jackson homie got out of jail. And he brought him to his surfer girl's house, right? And they was going to do this caper, and he explained it to him and explained their part. But as soon as Samuel L. Jackson walked away, right, his surfer girl looks at the other dude and is like, hey, we doing a lot of work. We should just take the money. Like, as soon as we do our part, we should just steal it and go, right? So then later on, Samuel L. Jackson sitting there with his homie that he left with the surfer girl, and they're at a bar, and he goes, hey man, I don't think you should trust her. I don't think you should trust her, because as soon as you left, she said we should take the money. And he said, oh, I don't need to trust her. I know her. Right. And that always sat with me. Like, okay.
Touche, nigga.
I don't need to trust her. I know her. And he said, just like I know when I left, y'all fucked.
Yeah.
Right. And so the dude kind of looked at him like, yeah, because he did, So my thing is, a lot of cats don't try to get to know whatever they're involved in with. They meet because they pretty, they go on, they're just
they don't
riding.
know what the woman is really capable of.
They don't even know what that woman's past is. They don't know if they went to jail. They don't know if they had threesome trained on them, because a lot of people are afraid to ask that question.
Yeah.
I ain't afraid to ask that question. Yo, you ever had what's your college days like? Now, they could lie. Yeah, okay. But at the same time, you got to reference a base. And I just think, cats, you need to know your woman. You need to know, like, hey, oh, that's your type right there, babe. Look at that dude. Oh shit, if I was okay. Like, when you get to know somebody, you don't trust everything, but you trust yourself and your thoughts. So when you drop her off and you see that guy and you like, oh shit, that's her type right there. Okay. All right. We'll see how long, see if she survives these temptations here. We'll see. But I ain't gonna put full trust, like ain't nothing ever gonna happen. So
hell no. If you put full trust in a woman, you're just a fool. Let me address this goofy ass comment right here. So this person says sexual exclusivity from a woman is number one. Accepting less than that from a woman is cuckery. Okay, cool. So for this individual that left this insecure ass comment, how do you go about proving fidelity, right? Because last time I checked, a lot of you insecure guys, y'all go through a woman's phone all day. Y'all ask women to share their locations with y'all. Y'all sit there and stalk their social media to see who they're friends with, whose post that they're liking, right? Because you can't prove fidelity. There is nothing on God's green earth where a woman can show you unequivocally that she has never fucked anybody else or never will. Nothing. Right. There's no 100% way to know. There just isn't, right? So again, J. Roman, you said it. I don't have to trust her. I know her. And let me just say this about that. I don't have to trust women. I know women. I didn't say I know a specific woman. I know women, right? And I've been a side dude too many times. Too many times to let me tell y'all something. You don't know women until you've been a side dude.
Facts.
When you've been a side dude and you see, look, let me tell y'all something. I've seen how women act when they settled for the guy that they with, and I'm the side guy. And I've also seen how women act when they love that nigga they cheating on. They love that nigga. They don't want to leave him. That's their guy. But I'm another guy they sexually attracted to though. But that's their guy. So I've seen it from both angles where a woman was with a guy that she really didn't want to be with and she cheating. And when she's with a guy she wants to be with, she just wants variety. She wants another dick. That's it. I've seen it. I've seen both. And I've seen how women act in both scenarios where the woman who settled is mad disrespectful to the other nigga. The chick who didn't settle, she doesn't like to talk about her man to me. Right? Because she don't want to badmouth them or say anything that's disrespectful. But she will fuck though. Jay Roman, I remember you told a story, and if you can tell it again, where you was a side dude and you said something negative about the guy and the chick stopped fucking with you. Do you recall that story?
No. Yeah, that's what happened. But I forget exactly what I said, but I said something trying to boast my ego up, and she was like, no, that's not it. Like, she was there for the sex and that was it. So saying something disrespectful to her dude, about her dude, was just off key. Like it didn't sit well with her. And so she stopped messing with me from that point on. And it was just like, that's it. And I felt it. Like, I understand. Just like you understand when you're the side dude and they start to like you too much, where they start making mistakes.
Yep.
And so you got to coach them on how to, like, hey, don't do this. Like, you're calling too often. You're
on how to creep
off them. Yeah, how to like look, don't come in there smelling like me. Like, what's the schedule like? You can't walk in. Oh, he's at home and I'm gonna walk in like this. No, you walking in fully exposed. Like, so.
Bro, Jay, I had a woman one time. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say to that dude's comment, if you put it up, I don't mind his comment about just sexual exclusivity, the one that you just I don't mind his comment. I just don't like the fact that he says it's number one. Like, exclusivity for women is number one. Like, everything else past that is like, that's a quality that you want if that's the type of relationship you want. But at the same time, her listening, respecting, and saying like that is right all there. Included. Like, that's, you can't, like, as long as she exclusive sexually, she could yell at you, she could be disrespectful to you, she could not listen to you, you could come home and ain't nothing done, you ask her to do something, you don't have faith she'll get anything done. So, like, but hey, I ain't been out there. You know what I'm saying? That cannot be just the number one say all be all for your relationship when you choose to be with somebody.
His language exposes him. Shout out to Miles. He is showing his sexual insecurities by saying that.
Facts.
Because, and to your point, Jay Roman, and I want to be clear. To your point, Jay, there is nothing wrong with saying, if I put my raw penis in this chick, if I put my tongue on this chick, it better be no other dicks in there but mine. There is nothing wrong with desiring that from a woman you're going to be in a serious relationship or marriage with. But here's the point, and you alluded to it again, Jay Roman. When we talk about shit that you can quantify, which means to measure, I can measure whether or not a woman can listen or not. I can see it in real time, right? When we talk about intrinsic value, the truth of something, if I tell a bitch what to do and she don't listen, in real time, she is showing me the truth of who she is to me, right? When we talk about value, right? If you're the type of guy where you're like, I want a domesticated woman, a woman who can cook, clean some shit, you can see in real time whether or not she can do that. And you can see in real time whether or not she listens to you. When you talk about sexual exclusivity, you can't quantify that because you can't prove it, right? But when you start talking about a woman's character and paying attention to what she does, right? If she dresses a certain way that you don't like, you can say, baby girl, go take that shit off. In real time, if she says, no, I ain't gonna take that shit off, you know what I'm wearing this, in real time, now you know you got something on your hand that you don't like, right?
Yeah.
And that's the problem when you start, quantifying whether or not a woman is worthy to be your woman. You can only go on shit you can see in real time, right? Sexual exclusivity, when a woman is away from you, you don't know what that bitch doing. Go ahead, Miles.
Because I've done relationship situations where, periodically I require STD tests, STD panels. And I want you to understand that the STD panel don't even guarantee sexual exclusivity. It just shows that if she is fucking, she's probably fucking responsibly, or she fucking with another nigga that don't have any STDs as well. That's all that shows. You see what I'm saying? So understand that, a lot of guys might, because I encourage guys to, like, if you're going to get with a woman, if you're going to start eating the pussy and all that, you're going to want to get an STD panel. Yeah. But I want you to understand that the STD panel don't prove sexual exclusivity. And a lot of niggas might think something like that would prove sexual exclusivity. It don't. It only shows that she continues to maintain a good bill of sexual health. That's all it shows. So make sure you understand what the fuck you looking at. Like, for example, you remember back in the day, remember back in the day when we used to get numbers on paper, pen and paper? Yep. The good old days. And you used to walk back to your boys and be like, yo, nigga, I got the number. And niggas used to be excited. And I later on, like, a few years later, I was like, hold up, niggas get excited about getting a number, but it's really just 10 numbers on a piece of paper. It really don't mean nothing. Exactly. Because who knows when you call that shit, who knows if a bitch gonna answer and all that other shit. So what I'm saying is that I want guys to understand something called absolute objectivity. Look at what you looking at for what the fuck it is. Stop making assumptions on other shit. So again, like I said, the woman saying that no other man has touched her since she's been with this man, that's a flex for the woman, not a flex for you, homie. Exactly. What's a flex for you is the consistency of how that woman shows up for you within your relationship. But what's outside of that has nothing to do with the absolute objective truth of the situation. So I just wanted to put that out there, because just because a bitch is getting showing you clean STD panels, don't mean that she not fucking other niggas.
Also, let me add this real quick, right? And here's another thing where guys get blinded, right? Because they'll meet a chick who don't got no tattoos, she don't drink, she don't smoke, she don't really go out like that, and she's making them wait for sex. They will believe that she's loyal, right? And here's the thing, right? This is how you know bitches ain't shit, right? No offense to my ladies. When you have sex with a chick and she lets you hit raw, nigga, you ain't the only nigga. So even if you think a chick is being faithful, when y'all first have sex, she lets you hit raw. What does that mean? That means if and when she cheat, she gonna let that nigga hit raw too. Y'all got it.
Hey, with that statement, sometimes I just sit back and pray and thank God, because them 90s is wild and into the 80s.
They was kind of fun though.
I didn't catch nothing. So but yeah, that got me. Sometimes you got to sit back and appreciate, be humble, and realize, like, hey, wow.
Yo,
I must be on earth for a reason.
With a shotgun. And
shit. I must be here for a reason. Like,
nigga, when you lucky, bro. When you grateful, you lucky.
Got lucky. Yeah.
Hey, because we would have been some places.
We done been some places. We've done some things, and we've done some fucking things, nigga. And I can still show an A+ report card, nigga.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoo, shit.
You like Lord, all them bullets I dodged. Thank God.
Oh, well, nigga. Not to
Zing
mention,
it right by me.
not to mention the kids. You know what I'm saying? For me personally,
Well, I didn't dodge that one. I didn't dodge that one.
I've came out unscathed on the other side, bro. I appreciate it, man. I'm nigga.
Hey, I didn't dodge it, but it was intentful, or it was,
Yeah, it was yeah. You had intentions on it, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Because you got some cats who it wasn't their intention, and they just got caught up. But look, if it was your intention, then more power to you, by all means. Just like it was my intention to not have nothing going on. So more power to the intentional fellas is what I'm saying.
So before I got distracted with that,
we do with this video because we could get it off. All right.
Yeah, I'm done with it unless y'all want to. Yeah, I'm done with it. Cool.
All right.
So before I got distracted with that, I was going to say that for them, Miles, for any gentleman to get to that point in which you're talking about, they have to be observant. They have to be aware and studious of what they're looking at, right? And to your case, to your point, Zag, when you're out with her and you're on a date, right? And you go to the bathroom and you come back and there's dudes around her and she's smiling and stuff. And then you walk up, she's like, oh, here's my date. Right now, you might think, oh, she fine. Dude's going to get at her. For me, though, I think it's her responsibility to say, hey, gentlemen, I'm on a date. I'll talk to you guys, a different day or whatever. So I look at everything that they do without saying a word. And that already classified them to me in a certain way where, if I was away or doing something, I don't know if she would be the type to resist that temptation because she's taking all that attention, even though we on this little date. Now, I'm not going to get jealous about it, but it does say something to me where like, okay, I'm not going to take you serious because I don't see the seriousness in you. When it comes to that, I've seen women where I went to go get at and it's like, hey, I'm on a date. It's new. Thank you. I appreciate it, but I don't want him here. Wife. I don't want you to be here when he gets back.
Right.
Right now, there's some that took my number real quick. Hey, okay. And then said, hey, I don't want you here when he gets back. So I'm not saying it's the be all end all, but for gentlemen, you got to start having your eyes up and thinking more with just how she looks and how much fun you're having. You got to start going through experiences and seeing that, okay, is this a sign of something later on? If not, but at the same time, that's why I say relationships is not for the weak. It's not for the immature, because you have to be an adult about yourself and read all the information and be aware of the information.
Let me add this, and real quick, guys, the call-in line is open, 1-844-672-7300. We do have some questions we'll get to in just a moment, but I want to say this real quick, and it goes with that whole body count thing, because and I've said this about the whole body count thing. The whole body count thing is tied to the insecurities of women cheating. That's what it's tied to. That's what the whole body count thing is tied to. Guys feeling like they can get a woman who won't cheat on them. So they believe that if a woman has a high body count, she is less likely to be faithful. Whereas if she has a low body count, she's more able to be, which is none of that is true. All that is theory. Real quick, I had a client, and I hope you're doing well, brother. I had a client who rushed into a relationship after a couple of months. And one of the reasons why he rushed into the relationship with the woman is because he believed she was a good girl, quote unquote. He believed that she had a low body count. And one of the reasons why he believed that was because she made him wait for sex. And I'm like, come on, bro. Like, y'all are too old. Guys, y'all are too old to be believing that just because a woman stalls you out for sex, that's indicative of her character. That's not necessarily true. So what he found out, and I told him that it was a bad idea. I said, bro, rushing into this relationship is a bad idea, right? So he ran into a series of problems along the way. One of the things that he found out now, bear in mind, after 2 or 3 months, he rushed into a relationship. Barely 6 months in, after I told him you fucked up, he found out not only was she cheating, but she was having sex with multiple guys at the same time.
Damn.
Right? And one of the guys was her neighbor. Right? So
she was getting it in.
She was getting in with multiple guys at the same time. Right? And what a lot of you guys don't understand, this is what women have figured out. Okay? Women have figured out that if I run into a guy who believes a certain way about sex, let me play to his beliefs. Let me play to it. Right? Because this is what women know, right? And this is how dumb guys are. Women know that most guys are insecure about sex.
Right.
And about how many sexual partners that a woman has supposedly had. Women know this. So women know if they run into a guy who has a certain lifestyle they might like, and that guy thinks a certain way about sex, women understand I have to play to his beliefs. Because if I can get him to believe that I'm a virtuous good girl with morals,
right,
I'll get fast tracked to a relationship, because guys are handing out relationships to good girls. Guys are handing them out like hotcakes, right? So let me pretend or go with the belief that he has of me. This is why a lot of times when you guys are very vague and very indirect about what you want sexually, that works to a woman's favor, because she's like, oh, plausible deniability, right? I don't even got to pretend to be a certain way. He's already showing me how he views certain women, so I'll just play to that, right? And then that's how you get caught up.
Yeah. And that's how you don't get to know your woman or a woman, because you have boxed her in where she thinks she has to be this and nothing else outside that box for you. And you'll never get to see the sides. Right. And I'm talking about, there's a lot of sides to them. And you won't be able to get to see none of that.
There you go. And shout out to Unique. He says, appreciate the 50. He says, guys wanting sexual exclusivity exposes their language. Shout out to Miles. Women can smash at any time of the day. Sexual attraction very often cannot be controlled, but it can't. You know what I'm saying? Only the desire to make something happen can be controlled, but the actual feeling can't be. Women know. Let me finish reading this with my bad.
Yeah, my bad.
So they want to smash you within the first few seconds of meeting you. Yes, they do. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I had a beautiful young lady that me and her would do some things that she didn't do with her boyfriend. And then later on her husband, because she felt it was too wild and he would think that she was too slutty. But it's crazy, because if he didn't impose those thoughts, he would have been able to do the same thing I was doing. And that's what she wanted to do. So sometimes what you impose, it works both ways. You might see some things that you don't want to rock with, and cool. At least you saw them. But a lot of times, because of how we're leading, that's things that guys don't understand. You are already a leader. They take your lead on a lot of things. It's just, where do you lead them to?
Right.
And so as you lead, you can see the information you need to see. But, a lot of times when you impose this little box on them, you need to be this, you need to be that. I want this exclusivity. And, you're asked these questions. What's important to you? Oh, exclusivity. And then you ask her, what's important to you? Oh, I'm a very loyal person. That's my flex. She didn't just tell you, yo, I got a dude over here. I got a dude over here and a dude over there. And you're like, oh, okay. Well, how do you, and you go from there, but you don't get that information because you're so forced on, this jealousy thing, this control thing with it.
Yeah, keep talking. I'm looking for this joint to prove my point about how guys box themselves into a corner. Where's that motherfucker at? Nope, that's not it right there. God, where the fuck is it at, man? Because there was nope, that's not it either. And is this it right here? this. Please tell me this is it. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Hold on, real quick. I've been looking for this shit. Hold on, real quick. Let me take that out the way. So my boyfriend and I have sex once a month. It's not like I don't like sex, but I don't want our relationship to be centered around sex every time we meet. I love him very much, so I need to set standards for him to see value in me, but deep down, I crave sex every day. Recently, I've been seeing this guy. I don't love him. I don't see my future with him, so I feel comfortable having sex with him every day. I don't mind if he sees me as a whore. I'm just using him, right? Mm-hmm. So guys do themselves a disservice by viewing women a certain way sexually. One of the reasons why, I'll just use myself as an example. One of the reasons why I'm very flirty and sexual with women right away is because I know women are extremely sexual, and I'm not gonna allow a woman to hide that from me. Right? Okay, you can't hide your sexual side from me. Exactly. Right? And I'm gonna put your feet to the fire, and either one or two things is gonna happen. Either you're going to show me your sexual side or you're going to continue to hide it. If you continue to try and hide it, you ain't for me. Right? Exactly. Yeah, and this is what guys have to understand. All these women have a sexual side. All of them do. I don't care how virtuous they appear to be, what kind of morals they try and present to you. It doesn't matter. Behind closed doors, they get it on. They get it in. Right? So the problem with a lot of you guys is you allow women to pull the wool over your eyes. You allow women to continue to wear their mask, right? Every woman has a public persona or a mask she wears out in public, right? My duty is to help women remove that mask. I'm knocking that shit off their face. Get that shit off. Show me who you really are right now, or I ain't fucking with you. Right?
My buddies,
show me who you really are. Go ahead, Jay.
My buddies be like, "Damn, Roman, you get to talk about sex quick," and it wasn't just sex though. If they really notice, it's just that. That's one of the things I love talking about taboo stuff to see how open somebody is. Right. Because that's one of the things I like. I like for you to be unapologetically who you are because you take more accountability for what you've done. And you're a little more honest because it's just like, yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did it. I don't know why I did that, but yeah, I did it. It was freshman year in college, and I ran that train on. I let them run that train on me, and you're like, oh, okay, what I'm saying? Like, but if somebody is open and they're able to talk about taboo stuff, religion, finances, early, you're like, okay, cool. I know at least, you take accountability and you're able to say, this is what I've done and accept it. Because accepting what you've done is always a great thing to grow to whatever you're trying to grow to. Because if not, then you're just lying to yourself. So there's a lot of women and men that have done things that's like, oh, it's because of this. It's because you wanted to do it. You got to tell yourself, I wanted to do it. So.
But also, if guys really think about it, what's the one side of women that they hide the most? Because we're all multifaceted. There's more than one side to all of us. But what is the side of women that they tend to hide the most? Their sexual side. They tend to hide, which I understand that they because of public scrutiny and being ostracized and being judged, and I get it. But if you know that as a man, if you know that women tend to hide that side of them the most, why would you believe anything that women got to say when it comes to sex? Why would you believe that? And also, here's the thing. Any conversation you have with a woman you just met, the real conversation isn't had until sex gets brought up. Yeah. That's the real conversation. I don't give a fuck how fucking good the vibes are and how intellectual the conversation is and how stimulating it is to you. Until you broach the topic of sex, none of that means anything. Broach the topic of sex and then see how that woman responds to you. And now you're getting the real interaction. And I've said this about guys, and we said this, but all of us alluded to this earlier. There's a lot of guys that really don't know who their woman is sexually. You really don't know, right? And I've said this, and guys got mad at me when I said it. As a side dude, when I was a side dude, and I'm not advocating being side guys. It's a dangerous occupation. Don't do it, guys. But when I was a side guy,
I knew more about I knew that guy's woman in 2 months of fucking her better than he did, even though he was with her for 3 or 4 years. He got a 3 or 4 year relationship, and I know his chick better than him, although I've been fucking her for 2 months. I said that, and guys got pissed. And I'm like, yo, you believe she's a good girl. I know she's not because she's cheating on you with me. So I know she's not. Right? I know she's not. Look, there was another time where I was a side dude, and the chick called me, right? And I heard a bunch of noise in the background. I'm like, damn, girl, where you calling me from? She was like, oh, I'm calling you from home. I'm like, who the fuck at your crib? Oh, that's my man with his friends. I'm like, you calling me and the nigga right there? Right? And don't worry, he can't hear me. They're playing a video game. They're not really paying attention to me. She literally in the living room or the kitchen, and she calling me from the home that she shared with her man because he can't hear her on the phone with me. Yo, guys, I'm telling you, it's not what you think. And again, and I'm not trying to cast aspersions on women, acting like all women are going to cheat on you. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're going to evaluate women or you're going to assess women for whether or not they're a good fit for you, you cannot hang your hat on perceived sexual exclusivity. You can't hang your hat on that.
Right.
You cannot. Your feelings will be hurt all day.
They're going to miss that bottom line of what you're saying. So say it again for them.
Yeah,
for the slow folks that's missing exactly what you're saying.
You cannot hang your hat on perceived sexual exclusivity simply because you can't prove it. What you can hang your hat on is things you can see right now, right? So if you say, hey, I need a woman who is going to be here and do these things, do these tasks, right? You can quantify that. You can prove. If I need a bitch that's going to cook me 3 square meals a day, you can prove that. Because if she ain't cooking on 3 square meals, no, she only cooked me 2. She missing 1. I don't know about this bitch, right? Because you can quantify that. Now, again, Jay Roman, you said it earlier about, and you said it like when the live streams begin, in the clip that we're using, Jay Roman says he likes to stroke with no condom because he likes to feel that velvet feeling, right? and there is nothing wrong with that, but there has to be a way that you evaluate women. So when you get to that point of taking the condom off, you trust your own discernment with that. Right.
And yes, ahead, I've it's worked out for me, the trusting of my own discernment. And you know, like we said earlier, I'm humbled, I appreciate it, and thank you, God. But at the same time, there's an evaluation. Like I want people to understand, just because she's speaking don't mean I'm believing everything she's saying. Right? Even when you do have these taboo conversations, or you talk about sex or finances, religion, and all this stuff, she still could lie to me. It has to match up with actions, right? So if somebody says something, the actions have to match up with it. So you can have somebody that says, hey, how are you with finances? What do you normally do? What do you invest in? And they're talking about it. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then later on, she giving you a conversation about how she mad that her girlfriend didn't want to let her borrow some money, or she's having a little financial tough time right now, where you go to talk about investments and she's like, huh? Oh, I didn't. Well, hold on. I thought you invested in this and this and that. Like it's multiple things that you do. And that's why there's such a long time to vet somebody, because you want words and actions and intentions to align up. That's how you get to know somebody. And even then, you're never going to fully trust, because the most you should trust is yourself.
Well, and here, my bad, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, and your discernment, like you were saying, Zach. Go ahead.
No, and here's the thing. When we talk about, let's talk about sex for a moment, right? So one of the things that I always pay attention to with any new woman that I'm dealing with, if she trying to get a nigga to hit without a condom right off the cuff, I know she can't be trusted. Just on the strength of that, I know she like raw sex too much, right? So the fact that she's trying to let me hit it raw, right? I just met you yesterday, bitch, right? So I don't trust that, right? Because if she's letting you do that, she let every nigga do that. But not only that, if you were to get into a relationship that you believed was sexually exclusive, if and when she cheat, she gonna let that nigga hit it raw too. Why? Because that's her MO. She's showing you, right? So one of the things that I pay attention to is that, but I also pay attention to how clean women are, right? Like when you smash a chick, does she just get up, slide her drawers on, and leave, or do that bitch go to the bathroom and freshen up? Because if she just slide her drawers on and leave, ooh, right? You can't never put your mouth on that, right? But also, how often does she go get her checkups? How often does she go to the gynecologist? How often does she go, right? Is she paying attention to what's going on down there? Is she fresh? Is she clean? Does she take care of herself? Because I got news for you. Y'all might not want to hear this, but if you're dealing with a woman, and even if she does cheat on you, you at least want to know that she clean and that she gonna make another nigga wear a condom and that she gonna clean her shit off before she come home to you. Right. You at least, and I'm not condoning women cheating on you. What I'm saying is you want a woman who gives a fuck enough about you that although she gonna cheat, she at least gonna come home, with some shit that ain't in her pussy that wasn't there before she left.
Right.
Right. I'm just throwing that out there. So I think guys are worried about the wrong thing. And again, when guys talk about, oh, it's a flex having a woman that no other guy has touched since you met her. Nigga, how do you know that? It's like,
we'll never
bro,
know.
you don't know that. You don't know that. And again, sexual exclusivity is, to me, it's not a flex because that has no bearing on how a woman shows up for you, right? Because here's the key. A woman could be faithful to you, but when you lose your job, she leaves you because you can't pay the bills. So what the fuck does her being faithful got to do with her leaving your ass because you lost your job? It don't mean nothing.
It's
right?
my number one note. It's my number one.
It don't mean nothing. I told y'all the story when I used to work in the mortgage industry, when I used to work in foreclosure, bankruptcy, and all of that. And there was a dude, he was a police officer. He was getting his house foreclosed on. And he called up crying on the phone, crying, tears, nigga, talking about, help me save my house so I can save my marriage. And when I was telling them, man, have you told your wife, to get a job to help you pay, this delinquent mortgage? And his response was, she won't get a job. She said, it's my duty. It's my job to save the house. Right? So let's say she was faithful. What does her not being touched by another man got to do with this house about to be foreclosed on and she won't help you? It just shows you that guys are focused on the wrong things. They're not focused on practical matters. They're focused on things that make them feel good, right? Saying that, oh, I don't think my woman will cheat. That makes you feel good. That's not practical, or when you talk about something that's logical and something that you can prove that's really gonna hold your marriage down or your relationship down, a woman supposedly being faithful ain't got nothing to do with that.
Has anybody donated to any of you guys today?
Yeah.
Earlier, I think to K-Zag, yeah.
Okay, so because I wasn't gonna tell my story until there was some appreciation of donations for you guys.
There you go.
Yeah. But this is definitely when I was younger, and like I always tell you guys, I learned through experience, learn and grow. I was always fresh, but it always had to be tightened up. But my brother was the one who said some words to me that shook me enough to be like, I'll never be this person again in my life. Right. So me and this beautiful thing was living together, and she had her job, and then all of a sudden she started coming home real late. Real late, consistently on one day a week. Now I'm like, what the hell is going on? I wasn't the most faithfulest, so I'm wondering what's going on. What's going on here? What's going on here? But just because you're not faithful don't mean that you ain't into what you got at home, right? So I noticed something. What's going on here? So I decided to do some investigation, right? Now I told her, I said, hey, I want you to come home.
Hold on. Before you do that, Miles, do you have that Law and Order sound?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I definitely decided to do some investigation, and I'm making it a little short just because of their time on the show, because there's a lot more to it, right? Because a lot more to it, but I decided to do some investigation, and I went on a stakeout at the job because she worked near this bar, and she told me everybody goes to this bar and drink and all this other stuff, and then that's why. But it just felt funny, You're like, something funny. So I go to this stakeout. My car is parked between the car and the bar, and I want to see what's going on, right? My brother hits
and everything.
My brother hits me up. He goes, "Hey, dog, what you doing?" I'm like,
Hey, what's going on, buddy?
I've always been the cat that brought honesty to the group, right? Because remember, cats used to lie all the time. Oh yeah, I did this. Oh yeah, I did.
Niggas stay lying on their dick. Niggas stay lying.
Yeah,
on their
right.
dick.
So I always brought honesty to it. So I told him, I said, "Hey man, this is what I'm doing.
I'm on a stakeout, nigga."
He said, "All right, man, I'm gonna come down."
I was not looking through the window. Stop that. I was not appearing through someone's window. That's not true. That Steve did that. I'm not looking through the window. Go ahead.
So he comes down. He says, "Hey, I said, man, you gonna come sit with me?" He said, "Yeah, I'll come sit with you. I got a date. In fact, I called you for little 2-piece thing, but you doing all this." He says, "I got a date in an hour, so I can only sit with you for a little bit." So he came and he sat with me, and he asked me. He said, "Hey, dog, what you doing all this for?" And I was like, "Hey, man, I just got to know. I got to see with my eyes. I'm one of them type of people, man. I gotta see. I gotta see what's going on." He was like, "Oh, okay." And so we talked for a little bit, and about some different things. He told, "Oh, hey, this girl, she been asking about you," and I, but I was focused, like, So sure enough, my brother stuck to his word. That hour came, he hopped out, and before he hopped out, he looked at me, he says, "Hey, bro, if you got to do this, your shit is fucked up already."
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
And he hopped out. Now I stayed there for about 20 more minutes, and then I was like, it just kept ringing in my head. If you got to do this, your shit fucked up already. So I went to the bar. I walked into the bar. 2 of her girlfriends were sitting there, and they looked at me, and I read one of them's lips. They was like, "Oh shit," right? And I knew right then. Okay. So I walked up to him. I said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" She says, "Fine." I smashed one of them later on, by the way. But anyway, so I walked up to him, said, "What's up?" I bought a drink. In fact, I bought them a drink too. And I drank it. They was kind of talking, and then I was like, "All right, I'm out." And I never asked where she was at. Never asked anything like that. We just had a little conversation. I bounced out. I went home. The next day, I packed up everything. I packed up everything. We was living together. Packed up every little thing, anything that she used, worn, like all the stuff. And I put it in my car. And the next morning, I woke up. And because that night I called her. And I said, "Hey, I don't know where you at or what you're doing, but we no longer are together.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't together no more." And woody whoop. And I'm in the morning. Yeah, it was emotional for me. It was raw.
So
hey, there's some more stuff in this.
When you was packing up her shit, did any tears fall down your cheek? With their tears?
No. I ain't never been that type of dude. I'm not saying I'm not emotional or nothing like that. Like, was I disappointed? Yeah, I was disappointed. But at the same time, I was doing my own thing too. So packed it all up, dropped it off at her mom's house. She came, went to go open the door, and I had already changed the locks. I was done, right? Yeah. And she said, I was just going through some things. And hanging out with my girlfriends and staying the night. And I said, "Oh, okay. That's cool. But you no longer live here."
Right.
You just no longer live here. And that's how that ended. Right there. Her mom came out, was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I never forget. She was like, "Go back in the house, Mom." Like, I was just dropping it off. Ha. And that was it. So I spent my time on the jealousy train, And when you get off of it, the peace that comes over you when you realize in any and other relationship that it doesn't matter all this stuff. You can't control no signs. You can't, ain't no sign gonna tell you she's gonna be this way or that way or anything like that. What helped me out the most was just observing the behavior. But I will tell you this, if you observe behavior that you don't like, that's the moment. You don't have to do no stakeout. You don't have to try to control and limit what she does. You don't, because my thing is, if you aren't with me in this, like how I want it to be, then why are you even here? So gotta go.
You said something important, right? When we talk about vetting a woman and just observing and evaluating what she's doing, you said she started doing things that were opposite of what she used to do. She started being inconsistent with her comings and goings. I remember years ago, I made a comment, and because I don't believe in going through a woman's phone and staking. I don't believe none of that. This is what I believe in. I believe if me and a woman, we have a certain established routine where we see each other, on certain days, certain times. The moment she starts going against that, that's the moment the relationship is over. And my thing is, and I'll end the relationship on some, you acting funny, it's over. And I remember someone said, but what if you're wrong about her? Then that's that bitch's fault. That's her fault then. That's her fault for being inconsistent, because the moment inconsistency happens, I don't need to see you with a dick in your mouth. I don't need to go through your phone and see texts about how a nigga told you how you so wet. I don't need to see any. I don't need closure. All I know is, bitch, you acting funny, this shit is over. Right? And if I'm wrong about you, I don't feel guilty if I'm wrong. My thing is, I'm looking at you like, that's what you get for fucking up and not being consistent with your goofy ass. Because I'll end a relationship on the strength of that alone. I don't need to catch a bitch cheating.
And it's crazy, and this goes to the respect and losing respect when you're jealous, right? So after that, we just smashing, right? Just smashing. And then we go out to shoot some pool, and I'll never forget this. I met her at the pool hall, and we shoot some pool. One of the waitresses there, she's feeling me, and she's giving me a smile and all this, and coming over shoulder to shoulder, handing me my drink. It ain't super loud, but I'm I got a whisper in her ears, like she's whispering, like, what do you want to drink and all this other stuff, and and because I was there before, just warming up, shooting some pool. And so, me and the waitress, we caught a little vibe. It was cool. What's so crazy was my ex at that time, right, said, what happened to this guy? This guy is the one I used to really, really like. And I realized that when I started acting jealous, they really do see you the weakest.
Yes. Yes.
Right. Because at that point, I didn't care. Like I was, I'm flirting with the girl as we out on this date, shooting pool, and she's like, what happened to this guy? And of course you like, I was this guy. Well, hold on. But your jealousy makes you look weaker and weaker and weaker, and the respect just goes down and down and down. So, it just, and that's why I can sit here, fellas, and tell y'all, I learned through experience. I ain't making this stuff up.
Right.
I ain't making this stuff up.
I'm glad you said that. And what Jay Roman just said, 100% of women feel that. Not 99, not 7. 100% of women, if you start acting jealous or insecure, none of them will respect you. Not a single one. None of them will. None of them will. And even if a woman stays in a relationship with you, Jay Roman, you can attest to this because she stayed in the relationship, but you probably were exhibiting that type of behavior before that, right? So, where you're kind of worried about what she's doing, who she might be doing it with. So what happens is, and I'm not, guys, there is no excuse for a woman cheating on you. So even if a woman cheats on you and she says, well, because you started acting different, so no. A woman cheating on you is still about her, not about you. However, to your point, Jay, Once a woman sees that you're jealous, you're insecure, you're possessive, or you're worried about other men, she can't respect you simply because women inherently know that a confident man who isn't worried about them is the best man to be with.
Exactly.
Period. They know that.
Yep.
But it makes them insecure because at that, how many times do you fake a little jealousy, Zach?
Who, me?
Yeah, when you ever been one where you so much you're not jealous at all.
No, I'm never gonna.
You act like you don't care. You act like
I've had women say that shit all the time.
I don't.
Like you don't give a fuck.
I don't.
It's not to say that I've never had these a jealous behavior. However, I had to check myself when I started feeling that shit. Like whoa, I'm worried about some shit I can't control. Let me stop feeling. I don't like this feeling, right? And that's the thing about being insecure and about being jealous and territorial and possessive. You're not in control of your feelings. You are at the mercy of what the woman is doing. You are literally at the mercy of what she's doing, right?
Yep.
So, and what happens is, like, for me, like, when I was, in long-term relationships or married, if somebody asked me, do you think your wife will cheat on you? My question was, nigga, I don't know. She better not. If I find out, it's over. Or if somebody asked me, do you think your wife has ever cheated on you? Nigga, I don't know. But if she did, she better not let me find out, right? I'm not one of these niggas that will say, oh, my girl will never do that to me. Bro, come on now. I'm not one of them. See, and those guys, if y'all ever watch the show Cheaters, and you can tell by the reaction of the guys, which guys believe that their women was capable of cheating versus which guys thought it would never happen. Let's watch them. Watch how the guys that break down and they're crying uncontrollably, those are the guys. No, I never thought she would do that to me. Not her. I thought she was official. I thought she was a good girl. I never thought she would give my pussy away. Right? Those guys, if you think about guys that have deleted themselves behind a woman cheating, it's because they never thought that woman would do that to them.
Right.
Right? And it was so emotionally devastating to them, they couldn't go on. Right? But when yes, are there women who are capable of being faithful? Yes. But you should never believe that your woman is one of them. Because you don't know. You don't know. You don't.
Might be, but it's yours.
Yes, you might be. Yeah. Are there women capable of being faithful? Yeah, but you just got the bitch that ain't, nigga. Don't get mad, nigga. Don't get mad, nigga. Don't get mad. And here's the thing. All you can really hope for, and I hate to even put it like that, all you can really hope for is that if you guys, for all you guys that do want sexual exclusivity, all you can really hope for is that if your girl ever cheat, that she's careful enough not to ever let you find out. That's all you can hope. That she is super careful, right? And that she is respectful enough to make the nigga use a condom, and she won't let no nigga skeeting her and then have you go behind that. Because there are some women who are foul like that.
Right.
Who are foul like that, who will let niggas skeet in them and then let you come behind that. You know what I'm saying?
Make sure they do their Keikos and everything, so it feels the same to you.
Man. Yo, life be life, man. You don't have any control over none of this shit.
No, you don't.
Guys, go ahead and call in. Look, man, the show's almost over, guys. 844-672-7300, 844-672-7300. We will not be accepting calls within the last 10 minutes. So make your calls now if you're gonna call in, guys.
And shout out for Stephen Mack for the $19.99. And again, guys, for all you guys who really want a woman to be faithful to you and you want sexual exclusivity, on the surface, there is nothing wrong with that. Right. But you have to be realistic as far as how you go about vetting the women you're dealing with. Right. So if you're a guy, you want to be married one day, you want to have a family. Right. And here's my thing about sexual exclusivity. The only reason sexual exclusivity was important to me was because I was having children. Right? So, but here's the thing with sexual exclusivity. Okay, whether a woman is faithful or not, that has no determining factor on whether or not that kid is yours. You so you still got to get I still got the test. I still got the paternity test. I don't give a fuck if you got my last. I don't give a fuck if you got my ring, bitch. My last. Hey, I'm still getting these tests, right? Because you're a woman, and yeah, you could have been faithful, and these kids could be. And here's the funny thing: the kids could be mine, but it don't mean you wasn't fucking another nigga. It just so happens that the kids are mine. It don't mean that you were faithful. It don't mean that, right? So, and again, I'm not trying to cast aspersions on women, and I'm not trying to say that women aren't capable of being faithful. Here's my belief. I believe that, and this is gonna fuck some niggas up. I believe that some of the same women who will cheat won't cheat in other relationships. A lot of guys ain't got. I'm telling y'all. I believe there are some women that will cheat in one relationship but won't cheat in another. Okay, I'm telling you, motherfuckers. A lot of guys, they're not gonna believe that, and I'm telling you from experience because I've been a guy who has cheated, and I'm not condoning or advocating cheating. I believe it's a cowardly thing to do, but when people say once a cheater, always a cheater. I believe that's only true if you're in the same relationship. Meaning, if you cheat on somebody and y'all stay in a relationship, I believe you're gonna do it again, right? But I've been in relationships where I crept, and I've also been faithful, believe it or not, right? So I've been in situations where I cheated on this chick, but I didn't cheat on her, right? So I know for a fact that women can do the same thing, right? You just don't know, though, if that's the chick. You just don't know.
Right.
But we got some questions, man. Let's go ahead and get to it.
Shout out to 1950. That's why you should be kissing these bitches.
hey, bro. Hey. You got to be careful with what you do, man. And you can't.
I'm a professional necker. I make you feel like I just kissed you, kissing that neck. You got to kiss right there below the jawbone, right there. That ain't normal.
It's erogenous zones, like and behind the ear, right behind the ear too, or underneath the earlobe. Yeah.
And just do a little suck, peck, little thing. They get it. They get it. They get the point.
There you go. So I blew. He said, "Wait, what? You can be a chick can cheat with one nigga, but not cheat with another." Yes, that can happen.
I know women that won't cheat with anybody except a side dude.
There you go. See, there you go.
And just the one guy. That's it.
Women can be selective cheaters. I know it sounds fucked up. What a bitch who is selectively cheating? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because, and here's the thing about a woman cheating. A woman who actually gives a fuck about her marriage or relationship and she actually wants it to last, she don't want to cheat with a nigga that got a big mouth or that might catch feelings.
Yeah. Right.
So if she gonna creep, she has to be careful who she cheat with to make sure that the nigga won't try to fuck up her main shit. Like,
exactly.
She got to fuck with a nigga that's cool with getting a pussy every now and again. And he don't want more than that.
Right.
You know
you can't call her, but she can call you.
Exactly.
Or you call, let the phone ring twice and hang up. I'll call you back.
Exactly. And here's the thing: as a side dude, you should want her relationship to keep going. Like, it's perfect because you have a chick, she ain't asking you for nothing. She already got a man doing all the dates and the trips. Like, all you are is a change of pace.
There's some dudes out there.
I'm thunder.
There's some dudes out there that don't realize your relationship was saved because of your side dude.
Nick, what?
Oh, what? Oh, we have kept relationships.
And not just a side dude, but a good one. The one that has your back. That when she goes to complain about the story, you go, well, put your clothes on, and you were in the wrong for that.
Yeah, you were in the wrong.
You should go home, apologize to your man,
mistreating the main guy,
and treat him. In fact, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do. Yeah,
a mistake, bitch, because you know you wrong for that hoe. Go home, apologize to that man, cook him a goddamn steak this weekend, and let him put his feet up and massage his goddamn feet.
Put that lingerie on and give him the world. Like, you and a lot of times, see, and that's why, side, you hate to talk, but when you start hearing it, you're like, nah, you totally wrong for that.
You ungrateful.
Totally wrong for
I
that.
had this side chick, and she had this little 6-7-year-old daughter, and the guy that was with her wasn't the father. So she creeping with me, and she got this guy that she's living with. He paying the bills, and he's a father figure to her daughter, and she was mistreating him. And I said, yo, you about to fuck up a good thing. That nigga is willing to take care of you and your child. I'm not gonna do all of that. I'm just gonna serve you dick. You know what I'm saying? You better keep this nigga. I'm like, stop mistreating this nigga. Yep. stop mistreating this nigga. Bro, if she got to the point where she was like, Carrie, I'm just ready to throw all his shit out. I'm about to put all his shit out and change the life. I'm like, you better not do that man like that.
Yep.
If she didn't, she reluctantly, she stayed with that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Now, later on, she fucked up the relationship. And I actually made a video how she sabotaged that relationship with that nigga because she wanted to be with me. And I told her, you fucking up. Because that nigga doing something I ain't never gonna do for you. Right? So guys, a lot of y'all right now who got marriage and relationships, y'all need to send some cigars in a gift basket to the side guy. You know what I'm saying?
No, I had one I had one who said that, hey, we can't meet.
All right, we got 413. You are on live with the Manhood is a Skill Set show. Name, age, city, and where did you send it?
Hey, it's Trey, Connecticut. I sent it to Zach. Sent $20.
Okay. All right, that's what's up.
That's what's up. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that. All right, so you say you're 28, right? Go ahead. What's your question?
Yeah, no real question. I just wanted to call in, give a shout out to you guys for being here. Definitely appreciate this.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely needed too, for sure, especially with everything going on. But yeah, just on the topic too, another thing too is just like, it's way better to kind of just focus on yourself and accept the fact that you can't really control another woman. Because like when I finally accepted that, what I realized, like, it gave me way more space just to focus on myself and myself only too. And that's another element too, is like, you're not trying to focus on another person, trying to control what they're doing. Like, it forces you to focus more on yourself. And like, I don't know if y'all agree with this or not, but like, I feel like in turn, like, that kind of also makes her focus more on you anyway, because you're so focused on yourself.
Yeah. Well, of course, that's for a woman that's feeling you, right? So we have to preface
that's like
that.
You, of course.
Yeah, you have to preface that, because it's not. Look, a lot of guys think, oh yeah, just act nonchalant and confident, and bitches just gonna run towards you. No. We have to preface it by understanding that we're talking about a woman that is interested in you, a woman that's feeling you. You want to maintain that confidence, because, like we were saying earlier in the show, once you start showing that jealousy. What you're saying when you express jealousy, what you're saying is, I'm afraid to lose you because I don't feel I'm enough. That's what you're saying. You understand? That's what you're basically saying. And you're also saying, in addition, you're saying, I'm afraid to lose you because I don't think I'm enough. And I think that when I compare myself to the guy that I think you might want to fuck with, that I think he might be better than me. Do you understand? And when you express jealousy, now, of course, the words don't come out exactly like that. It's just a feeling she gets subconsciously. You understand? And then she gonna lose respect. She gonna lose attraction, and then she gonna start to treat you differently. And then she might say to herself, "Well, since you think I'm fucking that nigga, let me go fuck that nigga. Let me go see if he's actually better than him." You see what I'm saying? And then your whole life is ruined because of insecurity.
But it's all through your leadership, because you just follow your lead on what you thought about yourself.
Exactly.
Yep. She could have been like, oh, my man is the guy. Oh, now he's acting like he's not the guy. Well, maybe he's not the guy.
Maybe he's not the guy. Exactly. Yep.
That's like the dirty Mac and shit. Is like, why you should never do that. Because another thing is too, is like, oh, well, if you talking shit about this guy, now she's like, well, maybe I should consider that guy. What is going on with that dude?
I had to beat up one of my best friends for doing that. It was a chick that I was dealing with. And he lived closer to her. This is when I was, younger and shit. He lived closer to her. And so she called me one night and said, yeah, your friend is trying to get at me. And I wasn't bothered by the fact that he tried to get at her, because she was cute. But one thing that bothered me was he was telling her shit about me, and the shit that he was saying wasn't even true. So he was lying on me. So I called him. I called him. And I said, say, bro, old girl told me you tried to get at her. I said, I ain't even mad that you tried to get at her. I'm like, but why'd you lie on me? And I said, and I told him, I said, I got to get you for that. He's like, what you mean, get me for that? I was like, nigga, when I see you tomorrow, nigga, we got to fight. And I'm like, it's not even about the chick. You lied, you dirty Mac me, nigga. You said ill shit about me behind my back to a bitch for some pussy, nigga. Right?
That's
when
crazy.
I see you, it's up, right?
That's
so
cool.
He was like, man, I ain't trying to fight you. So the next day at school, in the morning, I saw him at school. And I said, after school is over, nigga, me and you, nigga. And he's like, nah, Kerry, I ain't gonna fight you. So I slapped him. Right? And I figure if I make him mad, he'll want to fight then. And sure enough, that did it. Right? And we was cool after that. But I had to punish him. And he ain't like that. I used the word punish. I gotta punish you, nigga. Right? He ain't like that word. He ain't like them words. But we fought and I had to whip his ass, but we was cool after. But I had to show him, bro, never talk bad about me to a bitch for some pussy. Don't do that.
Yeah, that shit is the most despicable shit, bro. That is despicable shit. But Caller, what else you got for us?
That was and that's like I kind of like even when I was younger, me and my boys, we kind of had like an understanding too. Where it's just like, yeah, it's like I don't care if you try to get at my bitch, just don't try to dirty Mac me while you're getting at her. Like if you can get her, keep her, but just don't do it dirty. Like
Exactly.
like keep it player. You know what I'm saying? Like we had
exactly. Keep it player. Exactly. Keep my name out your mouth.
Me in 1950 been switching since for a while, and I never forget. I have one that says, he said, hey, I think this one is kind of giving me a little flavor. I said, all right, well, let's see. So I call her up and said, hey, my cousin says, you're giving him a little flavor. She goes, well, I said, listen, we might be 80% compatible. Y'all might be 90% compatible. I don't know. But, let me know. She was like, well, yeah, I think he's cute. I was flirting around. I said, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you his number. You call him and see what's up.
Right.
Because my thing is, if your eyes is already jumping, what use do I have for you now? So let me set it up.
Reckless eyeballing.
And that's how our crew used to do back in the day. Like there's no need to sit if you giving flavor to somebody, then hey, there you go.
It's all good.
We could all win. That's how we was, yo.
But I want to caution this though. I do want to caution this on something you said earlier, Caller. Miles addressed it a little bit. Don't ever pretend to be busy. Don't pretend to be something you're not, because when you introduce phony, you'll get phony coming your way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah. It's like after I like accepted it. You know what I mean? Like years ago, once I fully accepted, I was just like, it was just no pretend. It's just like, yeah, you really can't control what you can't control. And honestly, it's freeing because it kind of gives you just more like not more like it's freeing. It's freeing basically. Like it lets you know, like, yeah, I can only control myself, and that's everything else is what's going to be going to be. You just accept it.
And real quick, shout out to King Dow in the chat, man. That's the big homie right there. Yeah, go ahead, Caller.
Yeah, shout out to King Dow.
I was going to say, before I let y'all go, Miles, I know I was watching a live stream yesterday. I know you kind of like going on a rant about the TV shows and stuff, and man, I agree with you 1,000%. But I did find one on Netflix. That new Men on Fire series, that shit is fire. I'm like 3 episodes in.
I thought about checking that out because I know Denzel made that movie and shit.
Yeah, that was originally by
That was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Yeah. Shout out to Denzel. All right, you know what? I actually started watching it and I didn't get back to it. I'm gonna get back to it, man. Appreciate that.
It's dope. The writing is on point. Like the acting's on. It's fire. It's fire. They did it justice.
Appreciate that, bro.
Check that out.
But all right, so I'm gonna let y'all go. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, you too, bro. Easy, man. Thanks for calling. Thanks for the support. All right, appreciate you.
I think that's gonna kill the phone lines right there.
Yeah, that's gonna be that.
So we do got some questions. So let's go ahead and just get to these joints so we can wrap this up for y'all. Let me get back to the first question. So the homie says, when you say intoxicated by the promise, what does that mean? Intoxicated, you think about being high or drunk, okay, where your mind is completely in a fog. If you think about being intoxicated, drunk, high, your mind is completely in a fog, right? So a lot of guys, their mind is in the fog with the promise of sexual exclusivity. And the problem is with your, Tupac had a saying one time in one of his songs. He says, like a fiend who sees when the smoke is gone, right? So think about that, like a fiend who finally sees when the smoke is gone. So when he says like a fiend, a crack fiend, who finally sees with your third eye when the smoke is gone, meaning that now that the crack fiend is no longer getting high, they can see now. They can think now. Things is clearer to them. When you are consumed or intoxicated with the promise of sexual exclusivity from a woman, you can't see clearly. Okay, you're not seeing what you really need to see. So when we talk about evaluating women, right, for intrinsic value, what can you really see? What she does, not what you think, not what you think she's doing when she's away from you, but what she's actually doing in your presence. You can measure, you can quantify that. Y'all got it.
I think you answered it, man.
Yeah, you answered it. Yeah.
All right, so let's get to the next joint then. Where is it at? Hold on real quick. I think that's it right there. So he says, but for a woman, it's hard for them to be attracted to men. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not hard for women. Come on, what the fuck are y'all talking about? So he says, so if the man she's with has sex appeal, money, see, you see what I'm saying? He's already exposing himself. Money, and gives a woman an orgasm in bed. Would it be rare for a woman to find another man like that? You see what he's doing? He just exposes insecurities right there. Guys, he's thinking if I'm good in bed and I can satisfy a woman and I have money, she ain't gonna go nowhere. Come on now, y'all got it.
Hey, this is the guy that when he gets cheated on, right, flips out. Because his belief is that what more can I do to gain the exclusivity, not knowing that it's something that has to be within her already for that situation. Fellas, there's always going to be somebody that might look better than you, got more money than you, drive a better car than you. There's always going to be somebody that she may know or may not know. It doesn't matter. But all that doesn't matter to her behavior on how she wants to act. Because you control you, she controls her. And so, no, there's a lot of dudes that are rich and have this type of money, but there is still a call service for women to get dick down in real life. Like remember they used to have that show, the Gigolo show? The little, what do you call those shows? Where they was going through like real life people. These dudes were gigolos, and a lot of their clients was rich, had a husband, sort of type of thing. And like they stated about how these clients, sometimes they just want to get dick down by something different.
Variety. A lot of the times that women cheat is because they want variety. Men fuck different. Men kiss different. Men finger them different. Men eat their pussy different. Men stroke them different. Men feel. Sometimes when a woman cheats, it's strictly about, I just want a different penis inside of me that feels different. That's it.
Right. Or I want a guy that knows how to dirty talk or.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or I want a guy that's into BDSM, right? I enjoy having sex with my man, but I'm really curious what it would be like to experience that. And my man don't do that, but I know a guy who does though.
So this is the type of dude too that when she goes to try to mention that, Zach, he starts listing off all the things that he does to keep her in that box. Right? Oh, I take you on trips. I give you orgasms. I know you have orgasms. Like, what are you talking about? You want to try something? Like, I thought we had a good sex life. I thought we're cool in bed. What do you mean? What's this? Or you're looking at TV. Oh, why would anybody want that?
J. Roman, I had a woman who was creeping, and she paid for the hotel, by the way. Shout out to her. But she was creeping for a hotel she paid for. And she literally told me that one of the reasons why she was in that hotel room was because of variety. She used that word, variety. Your dick looks different and it feels different. It's a different shape and everything. And I'm having sex with you on the strength of that alone. That is different from the guy that I'm with. That's it. That was her reason. Not because her man was mistreating her. Not because he ain't had no money. Not because, and she enjoyed having sex with him too. She just wanted something different. Y'all don't understand how simple it is when women are creeping or women are dealing with multiple men. It literally comes down to that. It's different. It's just something different. It's that simple.
And it's like an onion, the layers of it. I had a woman that she would have threesomes a lot with her dude. And the reason why she was creeping was just for the exclusivity of just us two. Because a lot of times a lot of their sexual activities was with threesomes.
And she wanted to be selfish and
just wanted to be by herself. Yeah.
Where she was where she was the priority in the bedroom.
Right.
So there you have it. And again, I'm gonna read this question again because I want you guys to look at all the insecurities within his question and validation. But for women, it's hard for them to be attracted to men. No, it's not. Who told y'all that? Why do y'all think it's difficult for women to be attracted to men sexually? No, it's not.
Because they've never met a woman that has been truly attracted to them. That's what it is. Like these guys don't know what it means to be desired or desirable.
Oh.
Because they think less of themselves. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
They don't think it's possible for a bitch to like them because all they ever remember is all the chicks that said they had a boyfriend or they not interested. That's all they ever remember because that's the part that sticks to their fucking brain. You understand? Because all of them have issues with their own insecurities. So that's all they ever think about, getting rejected. So they think women don't like men. A lot of these niggas think women don't like men, but they can't do without us. But yeah, and none of y'all gonna really understand that type of shit.
Hey, on that last one, I could tell he was in that box because he said orgasm in bed. What if she don't want that orgasm in bed?
Yeah, you can't give a woman an orgasm over the phone, bro.
What if she wanted in the back seat of the Chevy?
In bed.
Shout out to the homie Steve. He says you have to have an attractive identity in order to be seen as attractive. Please get the likes up.
Facts.
Yeah. I would never say it's hard for a man to attract a woman. Nigga says who? It's easy.
Right.
What are we talking about? Now,
these
guys,
don't know. They don't know what it is.
Yeah, let me get back to the questions so we can get up out of here. Hold on, let me snatch this motherfucker up right
quick. Hell yeah.
So he says, I'm trying to understand, can a woman dislike a guy and be sexually attracted? Guys, what? See, y'all care about the wrong thing. I told you guys before that a woman, and I did a video where there was a woman, she worked with a guy, and they would always get into these debates about, whatever was going on. And she said, I don't like him, but every time he's around, I get wet. Right? She didn't like the guy. They would get into these debates at work about, politics or whatever the fuck they would debate about.
Right.
But she couldn't help that she was drawn to this man sexually. And and she couldn't explain it. And I'm gonna tell you why. One of the reasons why she was drawn, because he stood on his shit. Like, I don't give a fuck how you feel, bitch. This is how I feel about it, bitch. And she liked that. Subconsciously, she liked the fact that he stood on whatever he stood on, even though multiple women at the job was battling this nigga on his beliefs. And he's like, man, I don't give a fuck how y'all feel. This is how I feel. And she liked it, right? So does a woman have to like you personally to be sexually attracted to you? No. No, she doesn't. And you don't have to understand it. Just know that it exists, right? So let's move on, right? So he says, screenshot, both dudes are losing as main gets sex on her way and side dudes seem set relationship type sex and she know what she's doing and they don't, which is dangerous if dudes find out. What?
Next question. When I see questions I don't understand, next question. I don't fuck with these.
We ain't got time trying to decipher what you niggas are saying.
No, man.
Niggas, bro, like, come on, my nigga.
So he says, Zag J. Rome, you mentioned on the previous live that telling a woman, I know you have a slutty side, so no need to hide it from me. I'm not telling women that. Okay, I'm not verbally. I don't need to tell a woman that for me to get her to show me what I need her to show me. Would you not make her more likely to open up sexually? Please elaborate. No, guys. I'm not telling women verbally, I know you have a slutty side, show me. No, I'm showing women through my actions in a way that I flirt with them that I know they have a slutty side. I'm not telling a woman that.
On the low, this nigga just trying to get pointers on what to say to a bitch to open up a sexual side. Get a fucking coaching call, nigga.
Yeah. I don't know if I said it in those words, but I'm definitely I'm a boisterous person, so I don't know if I said it exactly like that. It definitely would have sounded A lot more graceful than that, but
yeah, I wouldn't have put it in those words, bro.
You know, slutty side and all this other stuff, but it's all in. See, sometimes you guys want to say something like a textbook when you're trying to say something on chapter 3, but you ain't even introduced chapter 1. Like there's a lot of layers to say stuff. Like I've said some abrupt things, but I said it in the time where I needed to say it, where they understood it and everything was cool. I just didn't come out the jump saying things like, we built some stuff where I could say that. So
yeah, I'm not. You don't have to verbalize that to them, guys. Let me just say this real quick, and we got to finish up. When you're flirting with women right away, and you're straight up about who you are sexually, you don't need to tell a woman to show you her slutty side. If she's attracted to you, she will. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So this guy asks, how do you enforce boundaries without sounding insecure? The fact that you asking that questions already means that you're coming from a place of being insecure. Right? Because if you're not insecure, you're not worried about how a woman sees what you're doing. Either she gonna listen or she not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not worried about guys. Stop worrying about how women view shit or how they perceive shit. All I need to know is she doing what I need her to do or not? It's that simple. I don't give a fuck how she's thinking about it. Either you gonna do the shit or you're not. Right? We got one last question. A lot of you asked multiple questions. You guys who asked multiple questions, we're not gonna answer multiple questions from the same guy. Y'all should have called in. That's what you should have did. Right? So last question, we're about to get up out of here. So he says, how do you know when you're being accountable versus taking responsibility for someone else's mistakes? Why would you take responsibility for someone else's mistakes? What are you talking about? What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about?
That would have been a perfect call in. That would have been a perfect call in. I mean, how do you be accountable versus? Yeah, I think that was a perfect call in. Next time, call in on that one. There's some questions I got on the other side of that one.
All right. So on that note,
all right. Shout out to that caller, man. Shout out for and anybody that supported the show, and we appreciate everybody that left the question and all the people in the chat, man. Make sure y'all check out Cunningham Elements. We got the 20% off Father's Day sale, and then watch your email. If you are a returning customer, check your email because you also got a special discount code because you are a valued return customer. So go to Cunningham Elements, get your soap, get your colognes, and also check out Lucario. He's going live at 5 later on. And Dag, as always, thank you for your consistency and creating a dope show. And Jay Roman, thank you for being here as well. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate y'all. And of course, check us out tomorrow. Real Game, No Theory. Shout out to 1950, Steve Dedeen, Mr. Lucario, K-Zag, and myself. We will be there noon tomorrow. Make sure you check us out noon tomorrow, Eastern time.
What's going on with you, Jay?
Hey, like always, Zach, I'm happy to be on the show. Thank you for having me on here. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the Real Game No Theory show. And fellas, get your eyes up and start deciphering information you receive, looking beyond her beauty and her booty.
Facts. Real talk.
There you go. And again, we appreciate the callers, everyone who donated, whether it was on the PayPal, Cash App, or even here through the Super Chat. We appreciate y'all. Y'all could have been anywhere else with y'all Saturday, but y'all chose to come through and fuck with us. Whether you agree with the commentary or not, you still came through and you fucked with us. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to Jay Roman. Shout out to Miles. We're going to holler at y'all later tomorrow. Peace.